Hello, my name is Gina Virginia Castella, owner-operator of Present Moment Hypnotherapy International. I made some videos so you can get to know me, get to like me, and get to trust me. I've planned in advance what I'd like to say, so I'm just going to dive right into it, folks. It's easy for me to get emotional because it wasn't easy for me to become the person that I am today. And I'm so proud of myself. And it's only recently that I've been able to say that with complete confidence, unshakable certainty, and 100% complete total conviction. I've never felt so grounded and in alignment with my own personal integrity. And I've never felt so comfortable in my own skin, mind, and aura. 2006, I graduated from Laurentian University with an honors degree in English literature. Hard to believe that I was the kid that went to the special education classroom for language arts. I graduated high school with a bunch of C's and D's. I worked full-time attending an adult education center when I was 18. I went to G.A. Weeble in London, Ontario. And that was my lifestyle. I'd catch the 7 a.m. bus, be at work. I wouldn't come home till like 10 o'clock at night. And I wouldn't have it any other way because chasing after opportunity, as rough as that was, it was opportunity. Opportunity I felt was calling me. And I responded to that call. I was born and raised in Timmins, Ontario. My family, we were a typical middle-class working family. I've been working since age 15, and before that, I made $2 an hour babysitting. In grade 1, my family gave away our pet dog. Nobody talked to me about it, so when the man showed up, my mom was busy washing the lice out of my hair, and well, you could just imagine how awkward it was because you can bet your lucky stars I advocated and my voice wasn't heard. And I was confused because the only time our dog was babysat was when we went to my Nona's. And so I was piecing it all together and was devastated. Giving away our family pet was like giving away a family member. And this experience truly shut me down. And it's not a coincidence that that's when I started to require assistance for special education. My cognitive ability was already starting to get shot at a young age. In fact, before this time, I was that kid that always had interesting dreams. I had a spiritual experience, and I was always shut down. And so I just developed a false belief that I was stupid. I really mean that. I really thought I was stupid. I thought I was not intelligent. I thought I was gonna be like Mary on Little House on the Prairie. You know that episode where she's losing her vision and then the doctor tells Charles Ingalls, the father, that one day Mary's just gonna wake up blind, and she does. I thought that was gonna happen to me with my intelligence. I thought, oh my goodness, I am losing my intelligence. And the people in my life are recognizing this, and that's why they're taking action and putting me in special education and whatnot and shutting down all these things that I'm communicating. It was really scary. When I was in grade 2, I wrote a letter to Santa Claus to take me to heaven so I wouldn't be a financial burden. I didn't mean to sound suicidal when I was in grade 2, geez. I just believed that through the powers of God and Santa Claus that this was possible, and it was no one's business. And I thought maybe Santa Claus could take me to visit my family every Christmas. The school determined the letter had boys' handwriting, and so nobody ever approached me about it. And there was a lot of kids that year who didn't put their name on their letters. I was afraid to talk about my feelings. I didn't want to die. You know, I was the girl with the hairy arms. I was put in special education. I wore glasses. I had lice. We just gave away our family member, the dog. I always had interesting dreams, spiritual experiences. And you know what, folks? People can be rude. It wasn't just other kids. It was adults in my life too. And as my life unfolded, anytime I felt any hardship, I felt like it made sense because, well, given the fact that I wrote that letter to Santa Claus, I felt like I was walking dead. I felt like, well, other people didn't write that kind of letter to Santa Claus. And so if there's an opportunity, doesn't matter if it's food or money or a relationship, I always just was passive and gave that opportunity to somebody else. Because in my opinion, there was never enough to go around. So why would the universe spend time on me when it could spend time on somebody who actively, proactively wanted to be here? And that's what I struggle with, because nobody wants to commit suicide. Doesn't matter how you shape it or frame it. People just want to be removed from their situations, or they want to bring relief to their situation. And now that I'm older and I realize all this, I'm so troubled and concerned for those out there who are listening to this, and this is resonating with you. It made sense to me. That's what's disturbing. And so it made me passive, and that's not how I wanted to show up in the world. And it resulted in a serious lack of abundance in my life and a lack of confidence. Throughout my life, I've never appreciated anybody who told me that I was too sensitive, because that was undermining my feelings. And it began a cognitive process where if I was dismissed, I would unintentionally hand over all my power to those people, because I didn't think that I was worthy or deserving of my own intelligence, thoughts, opinions, or choices. I had false beliefs that other people were smarter and that other people knew what was best for me. It took me 2 years to get into the nursing program, and I realized first semester 2001 that it wasn't for me. It was stressful. It's just way too much memory recall, and that's not who I am. I'm not a system of reminders person. I had the caring piece to be a nurse, but that system of reminders to be there on the ball, whoop, that just stressed me out. And I was struggling with the leaning forward and making the beds and trying to make beds with people in the beds. Kudos to you, nurses. And just the fact that it took me 2 years to get into the program, and I, moved to a different city. And just for that not to work out was quite stressful. And my heart was always in teaching, but I didn't think I was intelligent enough. I know that doesn't make sense. I thought I could be a nurse, but not a teacher. And that's what I'm telling you. I was suffering because the mind cannot hold conflicting beliefs. It's one of the rules of the mind. So I was suffering all this time, and I didn't realize it. And I was being hard on myself unnecessarily. I just didn't think I was good enough. My boyfriend at that time gave me an STD, and I stayed with him. I can't even believe that. I was in serious denial, and I'm sad to honestly admit to you that I didn't think that I could do better. I thought that was my life and that was the best I was going to do. And I thought, well, relationships aren't perfect. And, I'm a student and life is stressful. You're not supposed to have money when you're attending post-secondary. You're not supposed to be social and having all these amazing stories because you're supposed to be hitting the books. And I just couldn't believe it. And my self-esteem just refused to fall apart because I was clinging to an identity, desperately clinging to an identity. And I realize now that was my biggest problem, was my identity. I should have never ever taken on any identities. Nobody should. Even as a public school teacher, that was my role, not my identity. And so there I was with a false identity. And even if I left my boyfriend at that time, I didn't think I was going to be good enough or able to make it and to continue. And I just remember the conversation I had with the doctor that day, because my boyfriend and I, we were growing dope at that time. And I thought my skin peeling was like a chemical burn from, one of the chemicals. And she broke it to me that, no, this is a 100% STD. And being the individual I am, I was determined to make the best of it and to make the best of my life. I knew I was coping. I just didn't realize how much I was suffering. Thank you for listening to this. I really want to show you my authenticity and my vulnerable side, because this is me, folks. This is the real deal. Okay, so despite my successes, negative thoughts were reinforced when I was rejected from Teachers College. And the hardest part was watching others, especially those others who had better averages than me. And I mean, great people, yet some of them lacked the customer service skills and the maturity and independence that I had. This caused me to feel a strong sense of injustice, and I felt like the universe dismissed all of my efforts. All those days I had to wake up in the morning and go to school. There was no missing classes. I had to go to work. If I missed work, I didn't get paid. If I didn't put my smile on, I didn't get hours. It was very confusing. And I learned the hard way that I have a life worth living. 2006, I graduated with my honors in English literature. And since I was rejected from Teachers College, I wasn't really sure what to do with my life, but I knew for sure I wasn't just going to be sitting around. So I did a complete 360. I taught English in South Korea for 2 years, and 안녕하세요 and 감사합니다. Talk about a phenomenal experience. I met the most amazing people. I did the most amazing things. I went whitewater rafting, bungee jumping. I ate the most delicious food. I saw the most interesting crafts. I loved walking around in Sadong in particular, in Seoul, and just enjoying the food and the drink, the colors, the sound, and the festivals. And the International Jazz Festival, it's probably the coolest event that I've ever attended to this day. And I backpacked Southeast Asia. I visited the Great Wall of China, the Terracotta Warriors. And I remember in South Korea, in Seoul, there was always at the palace, changing of the guard ceremony. And I just was soaking up every single moment of it. And I have to tell you, if I didn't have photo evidence, I really might just mistaken these memories as dreams, because that's how incredible they are. And so I signed a 1-year contract. I loved it so much. I stayed for 2 years. I could have stayed there for the rest of my life. Once back in Canada, I served as the Director of Operations for Archer College, Vancouver, and I became a qualified public school teacher. Graduated from Vancouver's University of British Columbia. Our cohort was the first of its kind offered in North America. And it was a coming together, a bunch of university professors, people with their masters, PhDs, all coming together and piloting their babies, their social emotional projects. And we got to reap all the benefits. We had amazing speakers. And Mark Brackett's ruler program really resonated with me. It's something I carried with me throughout my career and continue to carry with me today. RULER, recognizing your emotions, understanding your emotions, labeling your emotions, expressing your emotions, and regulating them. So there's the first R is recognizing, the last R is regulating, but I also call it a double whammy, because you also have to recognize your emotions, regulate them, and reflect on them, because that combination is the notice, nature, nurture. And when you notice what you're doing and you remember what you're doing and you make changes as you're doing it, that's how things become second nature. And before you know it, you don't have to remind yourself, you're just remembering to do it. And when you have that moment where you are recognizing that you're like, hey, I'm remembering that I'm remembering right now, that's when you know you've accomplished that notice, nurture, nature. It becomes a way of knowing. Okay, so after I graduated, 2010, it was not a good time for teachers. Teachers were getting laid off. And I'm telling you, like, after work, I was fortunate to get a job teaching on call. And I put the pedal to the metal, and I attended every possible free professional development as humanly possible. Heading out to Rogers Arena for Finn's Friends was memorable, although providing my colleagues with professional development as a facilitator is an incredible experience. It all started off with just the Langley School District throwing it out there. You know, you don't have to be the expert. We're just looking for folks to get ahead on some reading and bring colleagues up to date. And that's what I did. And one thing led to another. So I've worked for the Langley School District for a number of years, and I was their professional development chair for 2 years. And I just can't say enough positive things about that. I became a facilitator for my union, the British Columbia Teachers' Federation. And this just provided me with the most amazing feelings. It was an incredible life high taking the mic at the BCTF's AGM 3 years in a row. And I resonate with appreciation for these opportunities. It was a total thrill, shitting bricks, making speeches, preparing for workshops, having late nights, early mornings. It was exciting. And I truly couldn't have done this work without the collaboration, encouragement, inspiration, mentorship, and support of my colleagues throughout my career. All those free Pro Ds and committee meetings were provided because people gave up their time. It was all volunteer-based, personal time. And it brought people together who shared passions. And when you are passionate about something, you get a lot of bang for your buck. And when you bring people together who are passionate about something, it's just such an incredible experience to be around. And there were a lot of teachers who were retiring and whatnot, and they were looking for people to share their knowledge and to take under their wing. And I was one of those people that I would just really enjoy sitting there with my colleagues, absorbing everything that I could. And I became known in my teaching community as somebody who was always promoting professional development, professional autonomy. But let's get back to me personally now. Personally, my life goes on, okay? So I come back from South Korea, become a teacher, and I've always wanted to achieve a master's. It just made sense to me because of my passion for what I do. And I developed a false belief that I needed a master's to prove to people that I know what I'm talking about. So I could say like, hey, my name's Gina, I have a master's, and oh, okay, now I would be recognized as an authority. And I realize now that that's not true. So before I realized that this is what happened, I got into the master's of counseling. Excuse me for a moment. Okay. I got into the master's of counseling psychology, and I have to tell you that I lacked the confidence to apply. I even lacked the confidence to ask for the professional references, and I did it anyways. I mean, there's no reason why I wouldn't get into the program. And I got in. And I can't even begin to describe to you how amazing I felt. I felt like, wow, all the pieces are finally falling into place, and I'm going to get more training and experience, and I'm going to have that piece of paper to wave around that I have an authority behind me, a master's. Well, when the money fell through for the master's, I can't even begin to tell you how crushed I was. I was undeniably crushed, and my self-esteem undeniably took a hit. It hurt so bad. It made me feel like that feeling when I got rejected from teachers college. It was just like, what? And in this situation, it was based on finances. And I just thought, geez, like, couldn't the world use more counseling psychologists? Who cares what the money costs? You have somebody who's qualified and has the wits to get into the program and to be successful in it. Why wouldn't you support this person? Why wouldn't anybody support this person? And financially, I wasn't supported. And it was a really challenging time in my life. And I had to really challenge, what am I doing with my life and where is my money going? Because sure, I could get loans and really scrape my pennies, but the thing is, I'm still renting, and I don't have that home that I own, and financial security is something I've been working towards. And so to take my master's, I just right now at this time, not comfortable with putting the money, even though I know I would be getting it back. And so that was like big time emotional turmoil for me to just go through this emotional storm. And I've at heart always been interested in hypnotherapy. In fact, that was the direction I was going in with the master's. I mean, it's one thing at a time, right? So I wanted to get the master's and become a counseling psychologist. I wanted to be that main connector in the community. And I wanted to integrate that biology of belief and the social emotional learning and believing in yourself and having the coping skills in a toolbox, but recognizing what you're suffering. And psychotherapy was always fascinating for me. And as a primary teacher, I feel like a lot of us indirectly are actually doing psychotherapy with a lot of our social emotional crafts, like my paper doll craft and my whole I Like Me unit, in my strong opinion, is psychotherapy. And that's something I wanted to bring into my practicum when I did my master's. And I actually thought you needed a PhD or something to do psychotherapy, and you don't. You can just have fun offering workshops and just letting people know who you are and that you don't have a background in like a master's or a PhD, and it's okay. It's okay. You know, there's lots of space to play around, and that's my emphasis in the teaching world, is embracing the world of play. And I recognize now the space that we all need as adults, space to play. So I thought, how can I do this? How can I get into psychotherapy? And I'm also very interested in parapsychology. Mental illness is a real thing. I also am a big fan of spiritualism. And there's a fine line when somebody shares a story about you, about how they're like hallucinating, versus somebody who's engaged in some kind of spiritual experience. And I'm interested in tethering the difference between those and learning how to ask better questions. And I'm a big fan of Michael Newton. I heard about him on Gaia, and then I actually went out and bought one of his books, and I'm hooked. And he's not around anymore, but his book, Life Between Lives, I really valued the knowledge, and it encouraged me. And I bought The Seventh Sense by Lynn Buchanan. It's about remote viewing. And I'm thankful for that book because I would like to work on asking better questions. And so all of this came together. And Marissa Peer, I've looked into her program before, and it just kept coming up on Facebook advertisements and whatnot. And I actually revisited her program, and I became a rapid transformational therapist and certified hypnotherapist 2021. Marissa's program was a way to bypass all the science and get to the heart of what I was truly passionate about. Moreover, it was significantly more affordable. It was an extraordinary program as anticipated, but what I didn't anticipate was just how transformative it was going to be for me personally. Truly, 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 I benefited from engaging in practice sessions as the client, the therapist, and the observer. Marissa Peer's method helped me smash through the glass sky by identifying all the false beliefs I had and transforming them. The rules of the mind were insightful to apply to my own life, and actually found the rules of the mind to be quite frustrating at first. But now that I understand them and how they work, that was a real stepping stone to my life, having more calm, peace, ease in it. It gave me perspective, and I understand myself a lot better now. There's power in understanding, and there is profound understanding gained in hypnosis. I had a powerful moment when I came across some photos of myself, because I realized I'd been smashing through this glass sky my whole life. And like Bozo the clown, I wore a mask, not just on my face, but my whole body. And like that Bozo the clown blow-up doll, I struggled because I would get knocked down so many times, and I would always ascend. And I didn't always want to ascend. I interpreted my knockdowns as not being good enough, things not being available to me, or that something's wrong with me. My ascension was interpreted by others as me being a pushover, and I learned that my opinion of myself is the most important opinion of myself, and it's the most important opinion to me, and I'm the one who gets to have that opinion. In Marissa's framework, there's a tool one can apply. It's called That's Not Me. And basically you reiterate all the crappy stuff. And you tell yourself that that's not you anymore. You say, that's not me anymore. And it's a way to upgrade yourself. And there's a lot of things I've told myself that that's not me anymore under hypnosis. Well, you know what, folks, those pictures that I found are true gems, because in the middle of a that's not me shitstorm, I found some that's me. In fact, I found a lot of that's me. That's me. I found these pictures and I found me. It wasn't just finding old pictures. It was like finding me. Those pictures are the rainbow in the dark. Those pictures are the grace in disgrace. Those pictures are the light that I didn't see at the end of the tunnel. And now, after engaging in Marissa Peer's training, all I see is that light. That's me in those pictures, and I like me. I want you to know with unshakable certainty, with complete confidence, and with undeniable conviction that, like me, your thoughts and feelings matter because you matter. Yes, you matter, absolutely matter. You're important. You have a life worth living. You're enough. Things are available to you. And as unique as you may be, you're the same as everyone else. You know, we're all unique as individuals, and yet we're all the same because we're dependent on community, and we need each other to fulfill that community. We need to have a relationship with ourselves. In those ways, we're the same. My new inspirations include meditation, watching Gaia, exploring consciousness. I love high strangeness, palmistry, getting more in touch with my feminine side. That was actually a false belief too I developed. That archetype of the damsel. I identify as female. I have the reproductive organs. Socially, I dress female in a traditional way, and I'm attracted to men. However, the way I live my life, I am very much a provider. I am far from a receiver. And I always felt like that was something I struggled with. It was like, since a young age, even though I was female, I always had to act masculine. I had to take on that role of the breadwinner and provide for myself. And I'm single and childless, and I actually grieved that. I didn't know you could grieve that, and that was all part of this process as well. I didn't know people who didn't have children grieved their children because folks like me are out there because I was raised with this belief that I was going to get married and have children, and that never happened. And it's okay that that didn't happen, but it's like, well, where's my children? And I do feel a sense of loss, and it is okay to grieve something that didn't even happen. And it's not weird or bizarre. It's quite normal and quite natural. And that's why I wanted to share that with you. I really enjoy helping people. Helping people helps me help myself. I'm a big fan of Marissa Peer, huge fan of rapid transformational therapy and hypnotherapy. I'm a big fan of the late Ted Andrews, Teal Swan. If there's anything that I've said that you can resonate with, then I encourage you to book a session with me. I'm one of those people have been telling me things my whole life, and I actually have training now, and I would adore to help you get into hypnosis, identify whatever needs to be identified, bring it to the surface, and together we can create new beliefs. You can adopt them and let them in until they become who you are. You really can transform your life. You know, I really love that quote from Rocky. Life isn't about how many times you fall, it's about how many times you get back up. These days when I fall, I feel like I don't fall so hard. And when I get back up, it's a lot easier because I have such a better understanding about who I am. And I have a toolbox, and I have the phenomenal coping skills to help me manage every day. I want to thank you sincerely for watching this video. I hope you got to know me, got to like me, got to trust me. I hope you have the courage to be yourself and to be all you can be. I really want you to remember who you are. And I really want you to remember that when you can't see the light, it's because you are the light. I called my business Present Moment Hypnotherapy International because each present moment is so pressing. It can really truly be so crushing because it determines the next present moment, and each present moment is your reality unfolding. Imagination really is the most powerful thing, and I want you to imagine beautiful hopes and dreams, the stunning individual you are, the beautiful hopes and dreams that are yours to have and to live and to desire. And I do firmly believe destiny and desire are linked together. Because there's no moment like the present moment. Present Moment Hypnotherapy International. My name is Gina Virginia Casella. This is my first time running my own business, Present Moment Hypnotherapy International. If there's anything that I've said that you can resonate with, please make an appointment with me. Please help to spread the word. Please like my page on Facebook, share it, and let people know that I'm available. I'm here for you. Thank you so much. Peace and love to you all.